Welcome to the Inspiring Coaches Show, the podcast devoted to inspiring coaches to bring their professional dreams to life by revealing the knowledge, insights, and best practices of other inspiring coaches. I'm your host, Jen Anderson, Master Certified Coach, early settler of the coaching industry, lover of all things coaching, and what coaching is doing to make the world a better place. Well, hello out there. As you all know, I love to start every coaching session, every training, everything I do by asking my client what we can celebrate from their world. And so this podcast is no exception. I've just found that this helps people because a lot of times they're wandering through life, not focusing on what's good, right? What's right with their life. Instead, they bring problems. And so this refocuses them. And I think it shifts the energy in a session. So our celebration this week is coming from Cheryl, who is in Vancouver, British Columbia. And Cheryl says, my clients often share a success, and I love hearing their stories. Typically, they'll give me credit, and I see this as a chance to remind them that while we are partners in the journey, they alone did the hard work. Recently, I was told by a client who owns a small business that because of you, we are better known in the marketplace, have new ideas to attract business, and were profitable last year. Well, this was a chance for me to shine a light on my client to show her just how powerful and capable she was and is. That's the best win for me. I smile and feel good in my heart. So thank you, Cheryl. I know you very well, and I know that this is true for you, and I celebrate you for bringing such beauty and joy into the world. So I'd like to invite you, dear listener, to send in a 2 to 3 sentence celebration, something that we can share in the beginning of an upcoming show. This is just another way that we can inspire the coaches who are listening in to bring their coaching dreams to life. So please email me your celebration, keeping in mind, of course, the imperative for confidentiality. And my email address is jennifer@coachingoutofthebox.com or jennifer@cotbx.com. Well, today our guest coach is Abdulhamid Hafiz, who goes by Hamid, and he is a passionate individual with a deep interest in personal growth, spirituality, and helping others. With a background in business and supply chain management, Hamid has worked in various professional roles, but found his true calling in guiding people toward healing, transformation, and living a life of meaning and purpose. Currently on a journey to becoming a certified life and spiritual coach, Hamid is inspired by the teaching of the Islamic spiritual tradition and the wisdom of spirituality in general, seeking to help individuals connect deeply with God, heal from their past, and find hope in their lives. His vision is to make a positive impact by empowering others to discover their potential and live with intention, harmony, and excellence. In addition to his coaching aspirations, Hamid is an advocate for creating meaningful content that inspires tranquility, self-reflection, and spiritual growth on his social media platforms. So today, Hamid and I will be talking about how he is navigating the pathway of becoming a spiritual coach. And to get you centered on his topic, Hamid has provided us with a quote. Yesterday, I was clever, so I wanted to change the world. Today, I am wise, so I am changing myself. So while you're pondering that, we'll take a quick break to hear from our inspiring sponsor, and then we'll be right back with Hamid.
Hey there, leaders! Are you ready to turn those tough conversations into purposeful and productive ones that drive real growth? I'm thrilled to introduce you to our Coach Approach to Leadership series. This is where you can learn the skills to communicate effectively, be heard, and make lasting, positive changes in your business. Imagine a conversation where you feel confident in what to ask, you truly listen, and you provide feedback that motivates action. That's exactly what we'll work on together in this program. Got questions? No worries, our enrollment coaches are here to support you every step of the way. Book a call with us today and discover how to transform your conversations. and your leadership style. It's time to inspire growth, build real trust, and turn every interaction into a powerful, productive experience.
Welcome back. And as a quick reminder, today we're being inspired by our guest, Hamid Hafiz, on how he is strategizing the pathway of becoming a spiritual coach. Hamid,
Yay.
welcome.
Thank you so much. What a way to start, the podcast with the positivity of the celebrations you shared. I wish everyone listening the best, and I just want to thank you again for this opportunity to be with you on the show.
Oh, well, I am really honored. And I'm glad we just had this. We got inspired in a conversation we were having to have you be a guest on this show. And so, as you know, I have a strong spiritual element to everything that I do as a coach as well. And so it just makes perfect sense to me. And you're new, you're kind of navigating this transition. And so that's what I
Yes.
thought a lot of our listeners who are aspiring coaches may really you may be just a few steps ahead of them, and you can shine a light a bit on their possible pathway. So that's why I'm happy that you're here.
Thank you so much. And I'm happy to share, whatever I've learned in my journey so far with the listeners.
Yes, I know you are, because you have one of the most generous hearts I've ever encountered. And so I know that you don't
Thank
say
you.
that lightly. Yes, see right to the heart with the hand. Yeah. Well, so Hamid, what can you share with us just to kind of get us started off? What can you share with us about what inspired you to make this transition into becoming a spiritual life coach?
Yeah, so basically, I feel like I've always felt that my existence here is in life is linked with having a purpose. Though my journey was always trying to find what is that purpose. I've been looking for, my purpose in life for a long time. Even when I actually graduated high school, back in the day, that idea was in my mind, but I really didn't have any sense of direction or a clue of what I want to do. So as you mentioned in the introduction that my background is in business and supply chain, that was the option that seemed more reasonable at the time. And I've worked in different companies and different professional roles throughout the years, but still it just felt like there was a void. There was something missing in my life that I just feel like I'm not fulfilling my purpose in life. And this is how sometimes destiny works, like I believe like many other people got affected, with the recent, economic challenges. So the company that I was working with, they decided, to lay me off with other, employees due to company restructure.
Mm.
And that was, I guess, to me, the moment where I said, I think, this is it. I have to take this moment seriously. I felt like that was the moment where it felt that I need to do something about my life. I can't just keep, working like a robot every day, doing the same thing. So I took time off, from work, and I started, exploring really what I want to do in life. I did a lot of like self personal assessments, different kinds, of assessments. I spoke with different coaches until, I landed on coaching, and the idea of coaching. And it just aligned with my interest in always helping people. And it aligned with comments that I hear from people around me. And I advise, the listeners, to think of, comments that, people around you tell you that sometimes you don't take seriously. But just to maybe it gives you an idea to reflect about your true, strength and potential. So, for example, people around me always say that they feel comfortable, talking to me and, sharing, their thoughts, asking me for an advice, just by nature. I'm not at the time and still like on my way to become a coach, but I was not in any way a professional. So when I heard about coaching, I felt, this aligns, with my personality and my, natural strengths. And I came across, the Life Purpose Institute, and I joined, the 5-day intensive certified life coach program, where I met you in that program as one of the instructors, and the journey started from there.
It did, didn't it? Yeah, yeah. And so at this point, you've done your training and you're working on certification. What are some of the next steps that you're seeing as you're navigating this process of becoming that spiritual life coach?
Yeah, absolutely. So what I feel, when I just want to mention something very important is when I joined the life coach program, I still wasn't 100% sure if this is something that I want to pursue or not. But I said I need to explore this and know for sure. And even after I finished, I felt like I learned something valuable. And whether I become a professional life coach or not, it's definitely I learned a lot of amazing skills to use, in my, daily life with people around me. But I still felt, there was an element missing. And that's when I knew that also like one of your expertise is you're a career coach,
Mm-hmm.
and you wrote a book about that. So I felt like, okay, maybe now I did my homework. I tried to figure this out on my own, but now I think I need the help of the professionals. So I, joined, the program, with you. And of course, throughout the program with different sessions, different exercise, we have reached the conclusion that uh, I was missing this element of spirituality, that actually spiritual coaching is what I found is to be my true calling, and anything related to spirituality. So I feel like the life coaching was leading me to there, but it was missing that spirituality piece.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I figured out, okay, that was the missing piece, and that's what I want to focus on next.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. So, programs like the International Coaching Group, Coaching Out of the Box, teach more of a purist coaching. So coaching anyone on anything, anytime, anywhere. And it is a great foundational piece for anyone who wants to explore, the possibilities of becoming a life coach. And as you said, and I'm so glad you pointed this out because it's kind of a hidden benefit most people don't realize when they're signing up for it is how much you grow and how much you learn about yourself just through participating in a program like Coaching Out of the Box. And so then you can go deeper. Then when you've got that purist approach, that coach anybody, anywhere, anytime, that's where you can bring in the specialty. And that's what I'm hearing in your story. And yes, when we worked together, which actually last week was kind of our final session, and we were celebrating that your strategy and how you're going to make the transition, which prompted this, comes full circle, right? But so
Yes.
building blocks is what I'm hearing that you're sharing, is that you're seeing the path unfolding kind of like building blocks, first this and then this and then this. Does that make sense?
Absolutely makes sense. Like if you asked me like a year ago that we will be actually talking about this in a podcast, I would have never imagined. And
Mhm.
even if you remember when I started, the career coaching program with you, uh, absolutely I had, no clue where I want to go. Like at the time, I had, different directions, or actually different career paths, but I just couldn't help myself to narrow it down.
Mhm.
But with your help, we were able to manage it, to at least, bring it down to the core, to the most important, um, aspects of the career that I'm looking forward to have, in my life.
Yes, absolutely. And I was like you, actually, when I'm thinking about your story, which was I was working in high tech sales and marketing for major technology companies, right? Like Oracle was one that most people know. And I felt that something was missing. And then I heard about this brand new profession. This is quite a while ago, brand new profession called coaching. I actually jumped into it because I just felt it was right for me. I knew it was, and I didn't even know how I was going to pay for the training. And I paid for it with my first clients because I was inspired to find the clients. And it's evolved, right? I've played in so many different ways. And so that's why I'm so excited about you, where you are, and where many of our listeners are just embarking on this. And I, so wanted to share with everyone that you find out what's unique about you and you bring that into this foundational piece, which is coaching, which is, a methodology for supporting people to grow their lives and their careers in the way that they want. So with that, what are some unique parts of you or aspects of you and your gifts that you're planning to bring to the spiritual life coaching?
Yeah, so for example, I had an interest always in like doing voiceover work because, again, many people told me in the past that I have a deep voice that can actually, you can become a great, radio host or a podcast host, but I never took those comments seriously until I started exploring. And I tried, sharing, I recording, some tracks, and shared it with my friends, and I received a positive feedback. For example, I had an interest always in social media and, like editing, vlogs and posting content. But I always saw these things as like separate tools or separate uh, interests. But I feel with coaching and after, the sessions we had together, I felt like I can bring all these, skills together to serve, my purpose in sharing spirituality with the world. So, for example, yes, I can be a coach, but I can also post content, related to spiritual coaching. I can do voiceover work that related to spirituality and calling people to spirituality. So it was that moment of realization that you can actually these things are not against each other, they can work with each other. So right now I am in the process of um, after I realized, okay, now this is what I want to do, but I need to build on some, knowledge and some skills in order to become, a professional and a good, spiritual life coach. So
Mhm.
I'm currently now in the path of, again, learning and acquiring the knowledge and the skills and the certifications to be able to present myself in the market and hopefully offer my help to people having the required credentials.
Yeah, it's interesting because not everyone sees the benefit of the credentials, and I hear very clearly that I think it was last week I was talking with someone. I said they're like a calling card. They really do open the door for credibility, and even if you know that what you have is legitimate without necessarily going the distance of a credential, the perception other people have when they see that you have put in that energy, you've invested in the process that you go through. It speaks volumes. It really does. And so the voiceover is one piece that you're bringing in. I think, and you may not want to share this, but I'm remembering that you were inspired and you finished up another certification of some kind last week that you had kind of started and then paused.
Yeah, so for example, for years I was just procrastinating to take this course about voiceover, basics. And I just, after, we, finalized our strategy session last week, I felt, this is actually the time now to take any kind of small step to lead to my vision, whether I see the fruits of that work right now or later on or never. But I know for sure that on this day, like today, this is the right thing to do. And I think that was the mental shift that happened is that, yes, now I have a vision, but I'm not going to link my happiness and based it on that vision. But I'm gonna work toward that vision, but I'm
Mhm.
gonna do the best that I can do in my day. And that was the step that I felt that I needed to take. So the course that I've been procrastinating for years now, finally I finished it.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm thankfully becoming more productive, more positive now that things are clear, and hopefully things will just turn out for the better.
Oh, and they will, Hamid, they will, because I watched as you went through this process of this last year and how you stuck with it. And you stayed open, and it's everything you just reflected. If you can just stay open, if you can take inspired action towards that vision that you've captured for yourself. And the other thing that you didn't say this, but it's something that I've seen, and I saw it with you, is that you begin to see the interconnection of a lot of things that you've been drawn to over time, right? And
Yes.
how they actually were stepping stones or breadcrumbs, that were, at some point are going to come together in such a beautiful way, and it will complete the pattern, and you'll have that clarity about what you're actually offering. Um,
Mm.
I saw that with you, and it, so nothing is ever wasted energy is one philosophy, right? And I'm hearing that
Yes.
you, yeah.
Absolutely. Like, for example, we were talking in general, and one thing led to the other, and you mentioned, the podcast, and now here we are. So I feel like sometimes, really, like what I want to tell people is it's okay, of course, to have a vision and plan for the future, but don't just sit in your place and keep thinking what's gonna happen.
Mhm.
Sometimes, no matter how much you're going to plan for the future, things will turn out, in a different way. Destiny has its own way. So just do your best, and opportunities will open its doors.
It's true. It's true. And staying open to it. So, I know I shared with you a post-it note that I had that really matched what it is that you were just saying, which is my post-it note says, "What's right for me today? Today, what's right for me?" So you've got that vision, and then you check in on a day, even minute by minute sometimes. Like I'll have a bunch of Zoom meetings, meeting with clients, teaching, whatever I'm doing. And then there's a break, and I say, "Okay, what's right for me right now?" Right? It can be just down to that question coming in handy, and minute by minute even.
100%. I
Yeah.
totally agree.
Yeah. Well, we have a couple more minutes. What would you most like to share right now in your heart?
I feel like the message that I want to share with everyone is, um, whether you're already a coach, you're trying to be a coach, or you're pursuing something different in life. Just remember that, as much as it sounds like a cliche, but there's always hope, really.
Mm.
Like this journey that I've been, maybe because of the time, we really can't go deep, but I just want to highlight that it was not always positive. There were so many times during, my journey of trying to find my purpose, where I felt hopeless, and I felt there is no hope, and I felt, that, I'm not gonna truly find, what I want to do in life, and I felt like, useless, and all these negative feelings. But, um, it's okay to feel down, but you have to keep trying, and you have to keep working, and you have to keep doing your best without stressing too much about the future, because at some point the click will happen. It was actually working throughout the time you were trying, but you're not seeing, uh, you know the the wisdom behind the suffering you are facing. But it's all preparing us to mature, to learn, to grow, to realize, to appreciate. So I just want people to believe in that, remember that no matter how dark it can get, there's always hope, and there's always light.
Absolutely. Well, Hamid, I knew this was going to be wonderful. I'm glad to say that I was right.
Yeah.
How
It's my
can,
honor.
huh?
I just said it's my honor. Thank you
Oh
so
my
much.
goodness. Well, I would love for you to share with our listeners if they'd like to continue this conversation with you. What's the best way for them to reach out to you?
Sure. So they can reach out to me, to my email. So my email is my first and last name together. So it's ABDUL HAMID, all like one word, Abdulhamid Hafiz at gmail.com. They can also search my name on LinkedIn and they will find my profile there. And I'm happy to connect with anyone who would like to reach.
Wonderful. So I'm going to have you say your name slowly so everybody can catch it if they want to go right to LinkedIn.
Yeah, so my name is Abdulhamid Hafiz, but I just try to make everyone's life easier and I go with Hamid. But if they search my name, they will find me on LinkedIn.
Yes, wonderful. And you do make people's lives easier, not just with your pronunciation of your name. You definitely do. And I am so grateful for that. So we're going to take a quick break now. And when we come back, if Hamid, if you could stay for a minute, we'll talk about how other people can apply to be a guest and get into these great conversations. So we're going to take a break right now. We'll be right back.
Hello, listeners. This is a special message from the International Coaching Group. We're thrilled to have you with us today on the Inspiring Coaches Show. If you're in search of an ICF accredited coach educator, look no further. Our flagship 555 coaching skills training program has been taught to over 45,000 people in over 38 countries. Additionally, our signature Fast Track to ICF credential program has been a key reason why both individuals and corporations choose the International Coaching Group to support their coaching skills, training, and coaching journeys. Ready to take the next step? Visit www.coachingoutofthebox.com to learn more or schedule a call with one of our enrollment coaches. We're here to support you every step of the way. Don't wait, start your coaching journey today.
All right. Well, the Inspiring Coaches Show is looking for inspiring guests. If you're interested in joining me on the show, please send an email to Jennifer@coachingoutofthebox.com or Jennifer@cotbx.com and include your topic idea and a short blurb on how you think it will inspire coaches to bring their professional dreams to life. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button below so that you don't miss any of our inspirational shows. We're so lucky to have the generous coaches that come on the show to share what's inspiring them, so it inspires us. So you don't want to miss an episode. Well, as we all know, of course, coaches love to express gratitude. So thank you to today's inspiring guest, Hamid. Thank you so much for being here. And
Thank you
thank
so much.
you. Yes, and thank you to our sponsor, the International Coaching Group, Coaching Out of the Box. And most of all, thank you to you, dear coach listener, for committing yourself to constantly seeking the inspiration that will support you to bring your coaching dreams to life. Until next time, I'm Jen Anderson, MCC, and this is the Inspiring Coaches Show.